Mars is opposite retro Jupiter. Retrograde Jupiter is having a hard time shining in the light that it likes to. And Jupiter is that planet that brings, I want to say judicial or excitement, generosity. Maybe generosity is a good word. But the Mars opposite Jupiter, Jupiter wants to look at the more worldly views, where Mars is the ruler of Aries. So it kind of wants to take the lead and charge up that mountain by itself. An opposition is a challenging aspect. This is an aspect where you could bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
It's an aspect where you can say, I want a garden, and I've done this before. You can say, I want to do a garden, and then have like 50 tomato plants and 20 squashes, and you're not going to use that unless you're a really good canner and can devote your days to that for the fall. It's just you could really go overboard with this kind of an aspect.
Yeah. We've been talking about Mercury being under the beams. One of the first aspects after the new moon solar eclipse was Mercury cazimi, Mercury in the heart of the sun, which can often kind of bring brilliant ideas, great ideas. And then Mercury's came out from there and was overshadowed by the sun again. So good for working behind the scenes. We're talking about planets in Scorpio, the sun, Mercury, and Mars, which tends to be kind of a little bit secretive anyway. And yeah, we've been talking about, or I've been talking about how it would be really helpful if you can use that Mars in Scorpio to actually do any physical work required for whatever that great idea was, rather than kind of biting everybody's head off and starting arguments and getting into ego battles. But at this stage, we've got Mercury at 10 degrees, we've got Mars at 11 degrees of Scorpio. So they're coming up to conjunction, and that does tend to be fighting words, edgy, cranky, just, yeah. This is kind of probably going to be a little bit of a cranky argument. And then you've got both of those opposite Jupiter, which, as Donna said, can have things to do with justice. It's also religion. It's big ideas and all that. When I first saw this, I was thinking, okay, you've been working behind the scenes, doing all this. It can be also that Jupiter can go to excess. Maybe you're pushing too far. You're wanting to do too much too quickly and overexerting yourself. But there's also the possibility that this can be a war of words. And those words might have something to do with people's worldviews, their big picture thinking, or, religion, or just Jupiter can sometimes be a little bit maybe condescending at times. There can be kind of a holier than thou or I know better attitude sometimes with Jupiter. And, this could be like a real, because that Jupiter, we said it can expand. We got Mars, which is the god of war. This could kind of, there's this disagreement, and then suddenly it's a big shouting match, So this could be, what is it, Saturday the 28th. Could be a good time to just lock yourself away. Don't email anyone, don't talk to anyone. But yeah, no, you can't do that for a day. But yeah, just this might be a little bit contentious for some people. But for some people it could be just overdoing that physical or whatever work you've been doing. And it could be, even if it's not physical work, because mentally thinking about things, like you don't have to have a job where you're actually physically laboring to be exhausted after a day's work. If you're working in an office or thinking and strategizing, that can be just as, it's mentally draining, so this could be overdoing kind of mental exertion, kind of, just it's not good.
As you were saying that, it just occurred to me, this would be a great day to, and not really great. I'm saying that with tongue in cheek. This would be a really great day to like pull a muscle.
Oh,
If you're not
mm.
thinking,
Yep.
Mars is that, impatience, and Jupiter rules those big muscles, and an opposition is a challenging aspect. So be careful of physical energy. This could be this, you could end up hurting yourself. So just don't take the risk today, not today.
Maybe even arms and hands and that too, with that Mercury conjunct Mars and that opposition from Jupiter.
It's possible. Yeah. And again, this is always, per your chart, if it's ticking your chart, if it's tapping any of your other planets in your own natal chart, this is would be an event. This would be what is that word? Well, this would be how it would manifest is
Well, that
so just be
Jupiter
careful if it's in your chart.